What a joy it is to be here at the Basilica of St. Francis in one of the chapels here during the Year of Hope, the Pilgrim of Hope. And we hear in our Gospel today, Jesus says, "Come to me, all who find life burdensome." Now, every time you go on a pilgrimage, we bring everything to Jesus. All our burdens, all our trials. We come here seeking healing from the Lord. You know, when he's asked in the scripture to the blind man, he says, "What do you want from me?" And on a pilgrimage today, Jesus is saying to all of us, "What do you want from me?" That's how loving and generous our God is. He's looking at us, Jesus, today, right in the eyes. And he's saying to us, "What do you want me to do for you?" As he's saying, "Come to me." Here in Assisi, we are surrounded by the witness of St. Francis, a man who heard that very question, "What do you want me to do for you?" You know, and what does he do? He just denies everything of this world, and he follows Jesus. And in our goal as pilgrims on earth, not just the Year of Hope, our ultimate goal is to do everything Jesus wants us to do. And it takes a certain amount of abandonment, like Francis. It takes us a surrender, like Francis. And really to be single-minded for the Lord in a world that is constantly bombarding us with information. To remain focused, to remain single-minded for Jesus. And that's all grace that enables us to do that. In the gospel, Jesus is asking us to yoke ourselves to him. And if you look at cattle, what they do, they yoke the two cattle together to plow a field. And the yoke is keeping the animals together in lockstep. And that's what Jesus is asking us to do today. To yoke ourselves to him, to be lockstep with him. So as Jesus goes, we go. You know, what Jesus wants us to do, we do. Does that make sense to you? And how beautiful it is to be lockstep with Jesus in our life, our ultimate goal. You know, Francis had this poverty of spirit that all of us know about. You know, one of the most famous saints. And that poverty of spirit is probably the challenge for us in our culture, in our world, particularly as where we live in the United States with all the abundance that we have, is to live a spirit of poverty in the midst of all the wealth that we have. To really, that spirit of poverty, to see Christ in everyone, not just people we like or people that we want to hang around with, but to see Christ in every single one. You know, Francis we heard on the bus, he loved even to talk to animals. I won't go that far, but anyway. But humanize them. The least among us, Francis would speak about. The abandoned, the poor. You know, we have so many issues with the dignity of individuals nowadays. You know, we take people for granted. We think they could be shipped off and bussed off everywhere. We're called to love everybody, like Francis really gave us a great example. So through his intercession today, at this beginning of this day, after we had our exercise up the hill, you know, we now have this day of really looking to encounter Jesus with all our burdens, all our needs, all our wants, and to see where this day of grace, can I have the best opportunity to encounter Jesus on this beautiful Assisi, beautiful place where Francis is so venerated. And so this journey of conversion is part of a pilgrimage, but this is our life's journey. And we look at Francis, and we look at his life and his abandonment and his single-mindedness of Christ. Let us open our hearts to that grace we need today. And let us open our hearts to a question like when Jesus is asking every single one of us today as he invites us to himself. What do you want me to do for you? That's how much he loves you. Jesus is saying to every single one of us today, what do you want me to do for you? How awesome is that our God would ask that question.